do?
Hey, Michael Anthony Joseph back with another show. But you know how it is. The show must go on. I grabbed the producer and he's lending me 30 minutes of his time. So he's actually going to have to leave. Okay, and then I'm going to be here. Just me, all alone, handling the show from there, sharing my heart and soul with you guys as usual, right? Making of a Star, Michael Anthony Joseph. And yes, my friend, he's going to introduce himself. I know you can see him with the orange.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gonzal Duran. I am the CEO of Devil Dog USA Incorporated. I am the newly editor-in-chief of the Big Apple Gazette, and I'm also running for Congress in New York 15th Congressional District. And on a side note, like Michael said, I'm a producer here at MMN, and I have two shows. One is called Vet Talk, and the other is called Political Chit Chat. Each one has separate been running for years now. So thank you for having me, Michael.
Thank you. You know, I normally I would not have someone come on my show and then have to bear the pain of them getting up and leaving. You know, I don't want to endure that, but I have to make an exception because I'm very blessed to get any of this man's time. I mean, look at him. How can he still be breathing after all the things he just said? How can you even keep up with this brother? I can't keep up with him. Do me a favor. Say that again. What is it you do again?
So
you mentioned like five different things and like 2 different movie shows.
Yeah, well, I didn't even mention my whole resume that I'm doing right now, but for the most part,
take it from the top.
Okay.
Let's just say my show is called The Making of a Star, right? And it encrypts everything that goes in that.
Okay. So
The Making of a Star. So normally I'd be like, where you been, where you at, and where you're going. But before I can even get there, I need to get where you here one more time.
Okay.
Just for the slow people.
Okay.
Okay.
So just a little background. I'm a former
Say everything you just said again.
I'm a former United States Marine Sergeant.
That's why you can do what you've been doing so far.
And Iraq
Say
veteran.
all those things, but can you?
So, but I'm currently the CEO of Devil Dog USA Incorporated.
Devil?
Dog.
Double?
No, Devil.
Dog. Like Devil Dog, the cake?
Yes.
Devil Dog. So you work with them?
No, separate. This is a nonprofit for veterans, and it's a veteran nonprofit and community organization.
You should make that clear.
So Devil Dog USA, it's a nickname for Marines. Now we encompass and we work with all veterans, but Devil Dog has just happened to be our nickname.
So that's a nonprofit organization?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do? What type of services do you offer?
So it's a variety of different things. We have office space that we use for individuals that want to do community work or have a program or need space to hold their event or camaraderie, you know. We have recreational activities, different things over the years, and now, we've had school
recreational activities. Where there's one particular location.
It depends. It varies. So, like depending on funding, location, time frame. So in the past, we've had camping, scuba diving programs. We currently have a golfing program, which we've been doing for many years, and then we have different activities like knitting or outdoor activities or different things such as that nature.
Okay, let me move on to another one. What's one of the other ones on your hand grip?
So I just became the editor-in-chief of the Big Apple Gazette, which is a nonprofit journalism organization, and it encompasses different. They hit on civics, community activities, and something that I think
because that reminds me of a newspaper.
Yeah. Yes, it's a newspaper, and one thing that's important for this program today, entertainment. So one day I'm doing interviews with politicians. One day I'm doing interviews with celebrities and then community members as well. So the Making of a Star I take a little bit of that and I look at it and I say that's something that I do. I highlight individuals and their time, give them a profile so that, and what I think I specialize in is featured articles where there are individuals that have a lot of activities, but there's no one place where it shows their, I guess, resume or profile and can put it all together. So that's one of the things I look to do. When you meet somebody, like the last person that I interviewed was Lorena Abro. Now everybody knows her through social media. She's the woman that played the Dominican Dora or Wednesday Addams, but the parkour version. So you see her dancing or doing flips and pull-ups and stuff like that. She has a huge background in parkour, stunt double, television commercials, endorsements. But if you look at her profile, most people only focus on her parkour anime. They know her as as Wednesday, or they know her as Dominican Dora, but they don't know her background, where she's from, what she's done, etc.
Okay, now you're talking about someone else. I'm going to talk about what you was doing.
Yeah, I was just
We're
talking about
kinda
that.
We're getting off topic. But talking about somebody else's resume for a minute there. But see, for instance, right, okay, so let's say a lot of those vets, do they want to get into the acting business?
I mean, there's always a few that have, the way I look at veterans are no different than a normal person.
Do
they have
some of them want to do acting?
There are some, there are some.
Because I'm trying to see if maybe I can connect with you guys and help you in some way.
There's a percentage. I wouldn't say that there's a large number that I deal with, but there are people that are interested, here and there.
Okay, so you got a newspaper going, right?
Yeah, and then I'm currently running for Congress in New York, 15th Congressional District. Thank you.
That's something to commemorate right there.
Yeah.
That's kind of deep.
Last year I ran for public advocate for New York City, and I garnered about almost 500,000 votes. So I'm trying to see if I can use that wave to help me for this congressional race.
Well, you got the look. Like, if I was a casting director, I'm casting you as a good guy.
Good.
You know that, right?
I hope so.
Do you get that a lot? Do people say you got a good guy look like?
I think
like you can be trusted.
I've been able to be outspoken with people and share with me. So I've seen that in that perspective.
So what other languages do you speak?
Just Spanish, and I know a little bit of just saying hello and goodbye in different languages, but I'm not fluent in other ones besides Spanish.
Okay, so you say you got 2 TV shows, right?
Yes.
Tell me the 2 shows again.
So the first one is Vet Talk.
Vet Talk.
Yep.
Why do I get the feeling it has something to do with vets?
Yes. We started as a way for veterans to have a voice in the community, and also to share resources from organizations for veterans and those that want to help the community, general population as well. So we've been operational.
Spreading information, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we've been operational for about 13 years now. And, we've been featured in different newspapers and television shows. So I'm very grateful for that. It's given us a wider platform, different things.
Uh-huh. I knew it was going to be cold here. You don't feel it? It kills me how, I don't know, how some people just don't feel cold. It could be air conditioning, it could be pumping, and they just don't feel it. I don't know. But I'm sorry. I just started feeling cold. I'm diabetic, so
Okay, no, I understand.
I don't know. It's like at some points, I guess my sugar just drops. But it sounds like you're a networker. Like you bring resources together for people who are veterans.
That's what I try to do. Yes.
Okay, so that's dope. But if any of them want to get into the acting business, I'm the man. But something I've learned too is also about being the middleman, and as the middleman, putting the different ends together. But yeah.
Well, I can talk about the second show that I'm doing. So
Right.
This one has been a little less time. We started in roughly 2023. It's called Political Chit Chat. And what I've seen, let's say in New York City, is that mainstream media really only focuses on a very small percentage of individuals that are running for office. And what I wanted to do is to bring more voices from the political community, not just one particular party or one particular individual or positions, not just the high profile ones, but the regular candidates that normally don't get visibility. So I'm very fortunate that I've had international, national, and I'm frequently on local media because of the community work that I do. But there's a lot of other individuals that they might run for office and never get an article written about them. And I think that's ridiculous because then now nobody knows who
Well,
these
I guess a
people
lot
are.
of people are not really reading or having paper in front of everybody's
Well,
on.
it's not
Everybody's
just,
on
yeah.
the computer.
It's not
Everything's
just
on the internet.
it's not just the reading portion, is the television portion. So Political Chit Chat gives them the visibility of that on television, and then the Big Apple Gazette gives them the writing. And the scenario that I gave you earlier, where that performer, Lorena Arbro, she's very well recognized, but there's no centralized information about her. So I do that for candidates that are running for office or individuals as well, so that they can have a profile.
Publicity.
Yeah, publicity. Because if you type in somebody's name who's running for office, you should be able to find them.
So how do you help do their profile with video, pictures of writing?
Yeah, I do an article for them. So for New York City this year, any and every candidate that's running for office, the Big Apple Gazette will cover and do a story on you. And then for the Political Chit Chat, where we can fit the a show, then we're willing to work with everybody as well. But television is more limited because of studio time and etc.
So you have a crew?
Yes. So for Devil Dog USA, we have a large amount of interns, volunteers, and community workers that partner with us, and and Devil Dog functions as the umbrella for all the work that I do. So the interns participate in the newspaper and on the talk shows as well.
So to contact you, if they are a vet or if they want to be involved, if they fit, if you know how they say get in where you fit in, how?
So anybody can feel free to reach out if it's regarding the Devil Dog and our nonprofit work with veterans or the community. You can reach out at CEO@devildogusainc.org. If it's more generalized towards the newspaper,
Can you repeat that?
yes, you can reach out to me at CEO@devildogusainc.org. And if it's more,
You know why I made you repeat that like that? Because I'm one of those people that be pissed off when I be watching stuff and the person talks so fast that I got to keep rewinding and start it. So I don't want my people to go through that.
oh, I understand.
So I like people to make it very clear your contact information and stuff. You know, I'm still old school.
That's okay. And for those that are interested in the Big Apple Gazette or any of the talk shows that I'm working on, they fall under the Big Apple Gazette. So you can feel free to reach out at Gonzalo Duran at thebigapplegazette.com. You can check out our website as well at thebigapplegazette.com. And if you want to get to know me more personally and my politics, you can also check out my website at www.gonzaloduran.nyc. And you can feel free to email me through there at gonzalodurannyc@gmail.com.
A lot of information. So what about in front of the camera? Acting? No acting? You're not an actor?
I don't think I've been put in a position like that. Not to say that I don't want to or I wouldn't be open to the opportunity. I just don't think that I have that dynamic of the screen. Like talking in front and
You
conversating.
see how you answering my question?
Yeah.
Do you think you're answering my question?
I think so. Like, I mean,
It's about the dynamic of it.
Yeah,
You breaking it down. That's how you live your life. It's how you answer my
Yeah.
question. The whole dynamic of it all. I'm just asking you. what about acting? Because as an actor, some people they know when they was coming up as a kid, if it was in their heart. Was it ever in your
Well,
heart
there was
to
never
get in front of that
there was
camera?
never a time that I thought I'd be in front of a camera, talking on a talk show, being running for office,
You
being
never
a
wanted to
CEO.
do it. But so it's in
Yeah,
there, because in everything you just mentioned is being in front of the
yeah.
camera. So you're doing your own form of acting.
Yes, I do see that part. But once again, I never thought that I would be in the positions where I am. I mean, I grew up,
So you're
you know,
doing it, but you're
yeah.
not getting paid for it as an actor.
Well, not
But
in
it's
that form. Not
included
in that
in
form.
everything you do
Yeah,
with it. Because it's in front of a camera,
yeah, yeah.
that's so, it's so personal. Well, it's totally different because you're not put to play different characters
Yeah.
and you don't have a different script in front of you.
Well, I mean, I grew up in the Bronx, in the South Bronx. My mother came here as an immigrant from El Salvador. So there was not that much opportunities or, venues for my roadmap. It was not going to be, there was not planned to be too exponentially. But I've been fortunate, the way my path went. And I think joining the military helped me get to the positions where I am today and
You
able to
think
do
the
what I do.
military, because sometimes I ask questions that hit a nerve a little bit, so no disrespect or
No, go
nothing.
ahead.
But you got kind of a baby face. So do you think like, instead of me going that way, maybe I'll just ask you, what made you join the military? Did your parents make you join the military?
No, no. For me, it was more so when I graduated high school, I had an opportunity to go to veterinarian school, but I knew I wouldn't be able to afford the travel, the lodging, the housing, the food, all that stuff. So, I took a chance with the military. It was a simple recruiter walking by after wrestling practice saying, "Do you want to join?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" It wasn't any patriotic, and it wasn't because if there was no options. I had options, but I think the military at the time was going to give me the stability that I needed. What I didn't know was everything that came after that.
Okay, so me, right? I wear different hats, coming up. So one part of me is an actor, but before the whole acting thing, I was in the church. I wanted to be a minister. So I grew up in a Pentecostal church, which believes in the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit and everything. But, you know, I converted over into, I left the church, but I still thought I had the gift of discernment. So, and I converted it into my acting. So I read people, right? So when I teach them and when I put their package together and when I create scenes for them, I go by what I see and what I read. But that's what casting directors do anyway. They read your face and they cast you according to what you look like. And I see a lot of good in you. I see a lot of different things. Like, I would love to cast you. And you was one of my actors. Like, if you, let's say you stood in front of me, see, because you're making the way for your people, basically, for other soldiers like yourself. And you're giving them a venue, you're giving them a voice and a picture and an outlet. And that's awesome sauce, right? So some of them might want to get in front of the camera. We might want to put that in the back show. I'm doing something with my show because I was thinking today, I said, people let me down. But I said, I'll do something, I'll call it lessons. So this way, every time I do the show, I'll do lessons, which I'll open up a book from my own life. And nobody can tell me nothing because it's something I lived myself. So it's a lesson from my own life. They can't tell me I didn't learn the lesson, right? So off of my table. But I can see where you were somebody that may have been picked on, right? But you had to prove yourself. So you went to wrestling school, right? You learned to defend yourself. But you'll take a knife for somebody you love. Like, you'll kill for your family, right? For somebody in your family. But it's that soldier. It's that one who will take it for the family. Like And it's funny because they're a good guy, but don't get on their flip side. Because that flip side is just as bad as that good side. See, that good side is so good, but will turn for someone they love. Like, they'll take the punch, like me. I was like a Samaritan my whole life. Like, I'll take the beating. But if you hit somebody I love, now you got a problem. And I'll go through blood for it. You know what I'm saying? You look like the Samaritan. You got that look. Like you'll bleed for somebody you love. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how the service pulled you in. But I can see how you could have had two type of experiences with the service. The service could have been a nightmare too. Because behind closed doors, it's not no cakewalk doing that.
No, no, no.
Which
It's
part
not.
was you, the Marines?
I was in the Marines. Yes.
Off the chain. They wouldn't see it coming. The average person see you coming up the block would try to pick on you, and you can break their neck in 7 ways, right?
I do know how to defend myself. Yes.
See, even saying it, you said it like a sweet person, right? You would never see it coming.
Well, I'm a former high school wrestler, football team as well. And as a Marine, I'm a combat training with martial arts and green belt. For the most part, I do know how to handle myself as well. Self-defense classes I've taught for the community. Part of the Devil Dog program we had was self-defense courses throughout New York City to try to help increase safety within the women and children and the elderly as well.
Boom. You know who I would give you the scene to do? Because that's what I do. I pick people. I see the good in them and everything. The scene I would give you is from Full Metal Jacket. I know you know Full Metal Jacket, right? Am I right or not?
Yeah.
You would kill it, right?
Well, look, I mean,
You want to come back on the show? You want to go home? You want to set a date? You want to practice it at home and come back and do Full Metal Jacket?
I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But
well, listen, we can practice it.
Given the opportunity, I would like.
I have a dope studio. I have my own studio as well. I have a nice place. My place is dope. But we can practice here too.
Given the opportunity, I would like to see if I could even make it to like a casting call. But to be honest, I would.
No,
prefer,
I'm saying I want you to do it. I have my own thing. You know who I? All you have to know. He don't know who you don't know who I am. I told you I did Lean on Me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've done more than just Lean on Me. I am somebody. I really am.
I'm not questioning that.
But for real, you should try it. See, that's the dope part is that you're not into acting, so the authenticity will be off the chain. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It will have such a freshness to it. If I was you, I would. You never know. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Some of them voters you want might come through the actors, through my stream. You never know. You want people to vote for you, right?
Yes.
Maybe if you do some acting, that might make them like you even more.
That'd be an opportunity. Yeah.
Yo, I don't want you to miss your time. What time you said you have to do your
Well,
thing?
I got a few more minutes.
All right. So, what I'm calling it is lessons. So, what's the lesson you want to leave from you being on my show? Say your name for me again.
Gonzalo Duran.
Gonzalo Duran. It sounds like a boxer.
Yes, Duran was a famous boxer.
Gonzalo, too. Isn't that a boxer's name?
That I don't know, but I know Duran.
Duran. I know everybody knows Duran.
Yeah. The lesson that I would tell people, and just what I said earlier, the things that I'm doing right now, there was not planned. And the plan that I did set, I didn't set a bar high because I never thought that there were so many opportunities and for me to get into. Like I said, growing up in the South Bronx, my mother wasn't educated. She came here as an immigrant from El Salvador. And, we made our way, to ability to where I am now, where, I'm a CEO for multiple organizations. I run for office. I am, I only told you a part of my resume. I am a district leader for the 79th Assembly District. I'm the vice chairman
The 79th.
Assembly
That's what I'm
District in
saying.
the
For those
Bronx. Yeah.
people who are like, kind of slow. The 17. Where is that at? In the Bronx?
In the Bronx.
I used to live in the Bronx, no more.
And I'm the vice chairman for the Bronx Conservative Party, and I'm also a chaplain myself as well. And during my spare time, which I do have spare time, I'm a mentor to at-risk teens. If you
To average teens.
at-risk teens,
What?
at risk.
At risk.
Yeah.
Yo, thank you.
So-
I thought it was like arrest, like an avenue or a project area.
All these things I would
At
say,
risk.
aim for.
So you
what
can
want.
use me. When you say, listen, when you say you give to at-risk kids, I'm connected with the Screen Actors Guild. So I'm also connected here, as well as being in the union for 38 years. How many casting people I know? When you say at-risk kids, connecting them to the movie business could save their life.
Yeah, I agree. That's not the ones that I prepared. That's a different story. Even having them
The ones
on
who
my
are
talk
prepared,
show
right, I
is that's the
understand.
hard thing to get them. But
But let me be the judge of that.
yeah, my point.
You should let me come speak to all of them because I can see. Because sometimes, that's your judgment of what you think if they're prepared or not. But you're not in the acting business. I mean, I'm introducing you to doing one scene. Somebody might be a natural. The one kid that's probably the worst kid might be the one they sign for like a $3 million movie.
And I look at the scenario, and I would love that to happen, but with a majority, and this is me working with, anywhere between 3 and 6 teens every other 8 weeks for the last 3 years. Although social media has been very prominent, a lot of young individuals, youth, I would say, they may not feel comfortable being on the spotlight yet at the moment, especially the ones that I've come
Well,
across.
there's a process.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I try to do is to try to give them stepping stones towards everything. So let's say I write articles about them, but I have them write articles first, and then I
a
get
process,
them
yeah.
get them to do it. And then when it
I
comes to
understand the
television,
process. I understand
I
the
have
process.
them participate in the talk shows behind the camera, and then see if they want to gradually get in front of the camera.
Yeah,
et
so
cetera,
you
et cetera.
can do the same thing
With the
you
acting
can
as well.
introduce it.
Yeah.
Because I can almost imagine, it should fit right in because a lot of them sound like they already little stars already. But and with acting, there's so much material that's been done. There's so many scenes from the past that can be done that deliver a message. And then you can also put it in by doing commercials for what they do already. Doing commercials for what you do. You can have the kids act out the commercials. You can find, I know one thing, the reason why I was going to do lessons is because, like, let's say I didn't run into you. The lesson I was going to do today is that sometimes you got to let go of baggage, right? You may not even realize that it's baggage. Sometimes when you close the door, you realize that you wasted your time. Like, for instance, the way I'm explaining is like this. I had got a new phone. I'm sorry, that kind of threw me off for a second. But, yeah, I tried to, I just remember that you have to leave, so.
That's the problem. If I can
when
finish
you
my
hit the
quote.
phone, it just made me forget. But damn, that was a good point.
It was a lesson?
The point that I was trying to make. Yeah, as part of the lesson is like, for instance, I've had this phone. I always have like 2, 3 phones. I had 2 phones, and for the longest, I didn't even realize that the phones were garbage until they had broke down. And when I went to the store, I bought 2 new phones But the new phones that I bought are like 100 times better. And it tells me that means that for 5 years, I was using phones that were crappy when I could have been using the phones that were fly. You understand? By me getting two new phones, I realized that the phone company didn't tell me that they had new phones that had so much more storage, battery, and all that, and could do so much. But so like I could wake up in the morning and the battery be dead already. The phones I have now, I wake up in the morning, the phone is still fully charged. But then I thought about that and I equated that with other parts of my life. I said, yeah, I probably was with a girl for 5 years longer than I should have been, you know? And I didn't realize until I broke up with her and met somebody new that this new person started treating me like a king, like the king that I am. I'm like, wait a minute, you mean tell me that 5 years I was with this knucklehead? I could have been with somebody better that whole 5 years? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, so that tells me sometimes you got to realize, don't hold on to what's not working. You know, don't sacrifice yourself. Because sometimes when you're a good person, you'll make sacrifice because you want to be happy. You want it to work. You want it to work. So you'll put up with the little innuendos, little things that's messed up. You'll put up with it because you want to be happy. But all that time, you could have been with something treating you 100 times better than you even realize, you know? So you have to shut the door to open a new door, you know?
And that goes off based off my quote that I was trying to get out earlier is for the people out there, aim high. You know, the things that I thought that I was gonna get, I never thought I'd be able to do all these things that I'm doing now. So aim high. Go for the goal. Go for the highest level and then go further than that. Aim high.
So that's your lesson,
That's
right?
my lesson for you guys.
All right, so that's my show. My show will be called Lessons. So every time I do, so this way my show is already called The Making of a Star, but I'm adding lessons, I'm opening that door so that whenever nobody shows, I still got a show to do, right? Because I always got a lesson to tell. 59 years, you know what I'm saying? 59 years, I'm still here, I'm still breathing. So since I still got you, tell me one of your favorite memories and one of your favorite accomplishments, right? No, even better, your tests. Like right now, the way you could sit here and just say what you just said, right, about go further, like the way you was able to survive the military, I know that ain't no joke.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to that, I look at it in two factors. There were obstacles that I was not prepared for in life. You know, I grew up in the South Bronx where it was pretty mundane at the time. You know, obviously it was dangerous and stuff like that, but you know, at before 18, I had never left outside the city. I didn't even know what the LGBT community was, stuff like that. I didn't know. I kept a very simple going home, schoolwork, and then back and forth. That was basically my life. And then leaving to the military, the training itself was, you know, people yelling at you, telling you what to do, no longer able to do what you want. You have to do structured and get stuff done.
You're like
Yeah,
5'6".
And then the
So
training.
because of your size,
yeah,
I know they picked on you. They had to pick.
and then the training itself is a different whole level on that as well. You know,
Crazy. Those Marines is the worst.
spy
I heard.
rigging, driving Humvees, you know, doing 10-mile runs and
Weapons.
you know different things and weapons and all that stuff.
Water, you'll be
You know.
drowning too. Not the seamen, but I heard you'll do the same type of basic training.
Well, we
The
do have our
Marines and
own.
the
We do have our own type of swim
ocean.
qualifications, and then there's advanced courses as well. You know, I learned how to swim in the Marines, and then you know I've been more proficient since going, and going back to you know the lessons on it. I think one of the best memories I can take from it is I remember coming back home from deployment and seeing the world very different. That's one. You know, although this may sound a little bad, it is a good positive memory. When you leave this country and you go to a different one, but you're going to defend it, you can see there's going to be some positive and some negatives on it. You know, obviously, you coming back as an American, America loves you. You going there and then you coming back is a whole different thing in the outer, prospect.
So you had to fight? You actually fought?
Well, I was in Fallujah, Iraq, so I was in the war zone. But another positive, and this is a legitimate positive, I never knew that the ocean was blue until I left New York City. In the Marine Corps, I think my first duty station, which was a short one, was in Hawaii. So the Orchard Beach water compared to Hawaii water, two different things.
Tell me about it.
And it shows the perspective of what the different lifestyle, the different, economy, economics, everything that where you place yourself, So I'm grateful for the military giving me a broader view of the world, the good and the bad as well. So with that being said, call it a day. Thank you for having me, Michael.
I appreciate you.
And for those out there, once again, if you guys want to reach me, my name is Gonzal Duran, and it's been a pleasure to be here. The making of a star. Hopefully one day I'll be here and I'll be considered a star.
Yeah. So like I said, look me up. Lean on Me was my first one with Morgan Freeman. You'll see Morgan Freeman beat me up. I played Brian Baines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sea of Love, Q&A. I did the Marla Hanson story. That's with the model that got her face cut up. Did you hear about her?
No.
The model, it was a true life story.
No, I didn't hear that part.
Yes, the model. Her landlord had her face cut up. All right, my brother, I'm on my own now. First time I've ever let this happen. No, second time. That's not true. No, my cousin, someone was here, he got an emergency phone call, and he had to go. But thank you. Shout out to my man. I appreciate him. He rocked it, right? We got to look up his show. We have to endorse him, his writing and everything. I hope everything is still going good, right? So anyway, I don't know how much time is left. Okay, so my show is called The Making of a Star. So when it says The Making of a Star, the thing is this: the one thing you need is media. Media. This is Manhattan Neighborhood Network. This place is free. I joined years ago, but I paid for the class because they had a class for everything. They have a class for editing, they have a class for produce your own show, they have a class for podcasts, run your own podcast. They have a podcast studio, podcast equipment, everything. The class back then was like $150. I paid for it. Then I came back, I paid for the editing class. And then I've been here ever since. But it's free. Now it's free. I was at the studio uptown, 59th Street, and the one uptown on 4th Street. This is the one down on 38th Street. This is the mini studio. See, wisdom is something in the right hands. Because here, I have here, it's a professional studio with professional cameras. And professional, everything's professional. It looks beautiful too. So, in the right hands, a person that's smart, you can, once you meet the person in charge, you can invite that person on the show, treat them like a king. Invite them on the show. Talk about what they doing, where they been, where they at, where they going. For the connections you want to make in life, you can use the show to make your connections. For the people that's paying, the people that's doing the hiring, I can invite the casting director on my show. I can invite the producer on my show. I can invite an agent on my show. Right? Everybody has a where they been, where they at, and where they going. And everybody has a little bit of an ego. So when you boost their ego, when you make it all about them, now you got a new connection. See, that's the thing. I could have worked my butt off, right? Worked my butt off. But I'm the type of person that I'll talk to the person that's hiring and say, what do you need? I'll go get you 10 people that'll work their butt off. I'll go get you 10 workers. Why should I stand and punch a clock? I'll go tell me exactly the type of worker you're looking for. Tell me where you been, where you at, where you going. Once I figure that out, I'll figure out the rest. But tell me tell me what is the job and how much you paying, and what type of worker you need. And give me a percentage for everything I bring in, or allow me to charge what I want. Just give me the okay. That's it. That's one door. Then I'll go to the other door. And I'll be like, look, I got the job. This is what I need. These are the qualifications. These are the hours. This is what you're going to get paid. And this is what I want. This is what you got to pay me. You know, every job has a going in and a going out. So my friend taught me that lesson, and I'm telling you, I can count the months that I actually worked a hard job. So, I mean, there's different ways to put it, you know. There is. But it goes for everything, even for modeling, you know. I went up for jobs, and I was like, look, you know, I talked to the casting directors. They still around, too. Some of them are not around. I'm not going to drop no names this time. But I talked to the casting director. I'd be like, hey, because I knew my niche. I played drug dealers. I played bad guys, you know, but I really care. So I can play a minister that's willing to die on the cross. I mean, I'm all in. I played a missionary. I'm off the chain. But I'm a lot older now. So I'm actually better, but not physically fit. But that's another discussion. But lessons is who you know and what you know. But see, with acting, it's okay to go to college, you know. It's okay to go to college. It's important to be in that showcase, you know. But it's also important to get a good agent and to impress the producers, because to tell you the truth, they're going to look at your resume and they're going to see the college stuff. But at the end of the day, if they see that you can act, they're going to throw the rest out the window. They're going to hire you. If you can play the role better than everybody else online, then they will give you the part. But then they're going to give you more parts just like that one. They're going to give you more calls to play the same kind of role, you know. See, now I'm a consultant. So I'm also with the union. So, but common sense, if you want to know something, ask somebody that's done it. The Screen Actors Guild has on YouTube, they have videos from the conservatory and from the SAG-AFTRA communications, you know, where the different actors, the foundation, SAG-AFTRA Foundation, real stars talk, and they tell you what happened to them. They tell you their life. They tell you what doors open for them. You know, it's great to have somebody that will tell you the truth. And that's what I'll do. Now I have the space where people can come and audition. I can look at them and I can tell them if they can act. I can tell them if they're good actors. You know, I can tell them what their niche is, you know, what people are going to want to pay to see them do. Then I can help them pick scenes from the past. I can actually pick the perfect scene, and then I can rehearse the scene and shoot the scene and show it on the show, right here on the show. Have them come down here with these people here are professional. Don't get it twisted. The person that's in the studio that's recording me right now is on top of things, okay? And then the editing and everything. So yeah, because see, what I want to do, and I don't even need to charge. I want to take one person, a star. I want to take a girl, and I want to do her real protagonist, antagonist. I can be more versatile with a woman because she can play the mother, the daughter, the good girl, the bad girl, the witch, the evil, all of that. And she can look pretty and she can look ugly. I want to make me a new star. I want to do her portfolio, her comp card, and her acting role, like Charlize Theron or something, you know. I want to really go in and make a star. So I'm going to be holding interviews on the phone and in person and over the phone. So my number is 347 500 2913. I'm not charging any money. This is not me trying to sell services. No. I just want to produce a star on my show. It's called The Making of a Star. So I want one girl to come in and I want to put her package together. And as I do her package, I'm going to show it on the show. So I'll show the process of the making of a star, and I'll do it on my show. And then I'll send her to see casting directors, and we'll tape it, and we'll show it on the show. So the process of her getting her first job, her meeting her first cat, going her first open call, going to do her first modeling job, the whole process, I'll keep you guys noted on the show, The Making of a Star. See, that's just it. When you've been in movies like I have, it's hard you can't just get it out. It's always going to be inside me to be in front of this camera, to let somebody else get that experience, to have the director say action, all eyes on me, like Tupac used to say. I mean, the opportunity is out there. There are websites. I mean, casting networks, to me, I've been referring people to Casting Networks Inc. for years. Casting Networks is the bomb. But it's even better, all of them. Casting Networks, Central Casting, all of them is the bomb. Actors Access. But it's even better if you know your niche. If you know your niche is playing that cop that just won't give in, the gritty fighter, whatever your niche is, then do a scene. Because if I interview you and I see it, I'm going to get my crew together and we're going to shoot your scene of you playing the protagonist, antagonist. But see, what I want to do is do it. I want to, because everybody I've worked with is from years ago, and they don't went on with their life and got married and had kids and stuff. So I'm gonna do it with somebody brand new, from scratch. So this way, I need to see if I still got it. you know. And then now I'm doing stuff, a lot of stuff myself. I'm not just hiring photographers. I have a new studio, beautiful studio. I have more than just a new studio. I have new cameras as well, so I'm going to be shooting some stuff myself. I am looking for interns and apprentices, you know, lighting assistants, you know, people to help. So they can call me on the 347 500 2913. I am looking for somebody to help me with this show, the making of the star, to help me host the show. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm out of time yet. I think I'm out of time. So, yeah. So the internship, basically, you come help me do the show. You co-host the show. My numbers 347 500 2913. 646 874 6597. Michael Anthony Joseph, The Making of a Star. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. It's been real.